Hi everyone, welcome to In Studio today with Nina Dobrev. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for being here. I'm good, I'm great. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so you have a new show called Fam. We've seen a couple episodes so far. Give a quick elevator pitch of the premise and your character, if you don't mind.
I'll give you an escalator pitch.
Perfect.
Because an elevator is too short.
Yeah, that's weird. I meant escalator.
I don't even know. I was just. It's a sitcom. It's a multicam sitcom, kind of like Friends, about two families that become one or are trying to become one. My character is a hot mess, and she comes from a broken family, and she meets the man of her dreams, who comes from a beautiful, perfect family. And she tells him that her entire family is dead so that he could never meet them because she's afraid that he won't love her if he does meet them. Of course, they show up and threaten to ruin everything, and a lot of craziness ensues, and she's trying to keep the pieces together, and they go from being a newly engaged couple to basically parents overnight.
Right, because the little sister,
Yes.
played by Odessa Adlon, who's great. The last time you were really on television regularly was Vampire Diaries. Mm-hmm. Were you specifically looking for a show like this to do?
I was not looking to return to television, no. It wasn't on my radar in the moment, but the opportunity came up, and honestly, I loved the character. I loved Tone Bell. I'd worked with him previously. He's a great co-star. The medium was different. I'd never done a sitcom before. I love comedy. I love doing things that scare me. This is live in front of an audience of 300 plus people.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize it was 300 people. Jeez.
Yeah, it's a lot of people, and
wow.
That doesn't include the people that are in the green rooms behind stage.
Right.
And so it's one of those things that it was scary and exciting, and it got my heart rate up, and so I knew I had to try it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I did, because getting that instant gratification and hearing people's laughter and their reactions, nothing beats it. Nothing. And it definitely makes me want to try theater now that I've done this. Yeah.
Have you ever done theater before?
I went to a performing arts high school, so I did theater in...
But not
professionally,
okay,
no.
Gotcha.
No.
That would be really great. I would be interested to see that. Also the castmates, Cheryl Lee Ralph and Brian Stokes Mitchell are, Broadway legends at this point. If you don't know, Cheryl Lee Ralph was in the original Dreamgirls.
I do know that, yeah.
Well, they might not.
They might not. You guys might not.
The
but
kids
she
at home
is.
might not.
Yeah, and she's fantastic, and she's so... the two of them are pros, and they can turn even a straight line into a comedic moment. It's so great to watch and work with them. Yeah. But I learned a lot from everyone. Odessa and I were the green ones of the group, and we were lucky enough to have some seasoned pros with us.
Yeah, this cast, one of my talking points is just gushing about the cast. Where do we even begin? Okay, so let's start with you and Tone. You kind of touched on that you had worked together before.
Yes.
So you did a film together, Dog Days, is that right?
Yeah.
And did you film that before? So you filmed that before the show?
Yes, in fact, the movie was a big part of why... it's one of the main reasons why I'm in this show. Because
you play love interest in that movie.
We play love interest in the film, and Tone was cast in Fam already, and then I think he suggested me for the show when they were looking for the girl, and not a lot of people knew that I do comedy and that I love doing comedy, so the movie hadn't come out yet, so the film sent scenes from the movie to CBS. They watched the takes and our chemistry and the comedy, and then... that's how it all went down. It's
kind of interesting because, I know probably in the industry you've talked about it a lot, maybe with friends or fellow actors, but it's sort of a thing that comedy can almost be way more difficult than drama. Getting laughs is not always the easiest thing, and luckily you also are with Tone, who's a stand-up comedian. He has a background in stand-up. So
yeah.
How does he as a scene partner work with you, and what do you get out of that with him?
It was pretty interesting because in the film... it was his first movie. He'd never done a feature before. And so he came to me and was like, please, if there's any tips or anything, take me under your wing. And so I did. And when I came onto the show, I gave him the same speech. I was like, I don't know what the bleep I'm doing, so please help me out. And he did. And I learned a lot from him. And in the pilot, I cringe when I watch the pilot, to be honest with you, because I feel like I was very stiff and didn't know what I was doing. And you can see the fear in my eyes, or at least I can. But as the season goes on, I found my character, I found my groove, I started to get a lot more comfortable, and I'm really excited and hopeful that we'll do a season 2 because I want to keep doing this.
I mean, I took the first scene of the first of the pilot is it all feels very too good to be true and like this little dream. But then after you get out of that scene and you guys get back to your apartment, I mean, the second Odessa comes on, I think like for the audience watching and for you and your character, that's when it just takes after that first scene to sort of kick in. If it makes you feel any better, like everything is looking very cohesive.
Thank you. No one just keep watching because it gets even better in my opinion.
Is there a challenge to this show that you weren't expecting that came along? 'Cause, I mean, I know you're a pro. You've been on, you were on Vampire Diaries for so long.
The nerves, honestly, like trying to get my heart rate down when you're in front of a live audience.
But you like it. You said you would do
No,
theater.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's just the beginning. It's the first scene.
Yeah.
Once you get the first scene in the can, the rest of it is smooth sailing. But the first scene, it's that anticipation and tension. And I was very nervous, but after the first couple episodes, it got a lot easier and a lot better for me.
Nice. And Gary Cole plays your dad.
Love him.
What's it like working with him? He's hilarious. I mean, he's just so
one of the
funny.
funniest humans I know, and so great to work with. He's a dreamboat. Very professional. He is Freddie in so many ways.
Yeah.
He brings it to life.
He seems real comfortable.
Very, yeah. And as a result, I mean, the funny thing about this show is that I feel like I'm the straight person for anyone I'm in a scene with. If I'm in a scene with Tone, because he's so funny, I'm typically the straight person. Odessa, Gary, Cheryl, Brian. So I guess one of the challenges, to answer your previous question, that I didn't expect would be to have to fight to find those moments. And it really was. I mean, the writing on the show is amazing. And Corinne and all the staff is incredible. But that was something I kept on having to keep reminding. I was like, I don't want to be the straight man the whole time. Like, let's keep developing this and make sure that Clem is a hot mess and continues to be a hot mess and has fun and I think we got to that point.
There's definitely room for your character to, because, everyone, I mean, again, there have only been 2 episodes so far, but your character has this backstory that we keep getting snippets of, so I think there is a lot of potential. There's room to sort of expand on that, and I can see your character kind of letting the crazy out, at some point, so hopefully that would be...
There's a few episodes that are really fun,
okay, good.
that I absolutely loved playing because I definitely got to unhinge. Let's just say Clem goes, she sort of steps into her old ways, and... I don't want to say relapses because she wasn't an alcoholic, but she definitely indulges.
Okay, that's fair enough. We'll keep an eye out for that. And I guess one of my last questions to wrap up is, I know, did you run into, I think I saw an interview that you ran into Paul Wesley recently, or
I didn't run into him.
He was there?
He came and watched one of the tapings one night, yeah.
Well, that got me thinking, I think it would be amazing to have either him or someone else from Vampire Diaries as a guest star on the show.
Oh, for sure. I actually talked to him about it that night, and a few other people. I think, are you a fan of Friends?
The biggest fan.
Yeah, me too. So I remember watching Friends, and I think Bruce Willis did a cameo, Brad Pitt probably did a cameo. Everyone and their mother was on that show, and my goal is, assuming that the show is successful and it continues on, my goal is to have anyone and everyone that is a friend / funny / wants to. I want to have as many cameos as possible. And we already had Kate Walsh this season. She plays Odessa's mom on the show. And we had a couple of other really fun cameos, and we have a couple coming up next season. If it gets picked up, we have a couple plans.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, we'll look forward to that. When we were talking about the cast, I forgot to also bring up, I think I briefly touched on Odessa, but can you also talk about working with, because her mom, Pamela Adlon, is so incredible. She's so talented, and Odessa she's got that same, she reminds me so much of her mom. It's amazing.
And her mom came to set a couple times, and she's a firecracker, and Odessa definitely emulates a lot of her energy, but not on purpose. Odessa is Shannon in so many ways. She was 17 when we started filming.
Wow.
She's 18 now. She graduated high school while we were on set.
Oh my gosh.
So it was like one of those, I feel like she is very much my little sister.
Yeah, your chemistry seems so natural and fun, and I really like watching you guys bounce off each other on
Thank
screen,
you.
And Tone as well. I think the entire cast, you guys are just all doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Please watch Fam on CBS Thursdays at 9:30, and yeah, thanks again.
Thank
It was
you.
nice
Yeah,
talking
I
to you.
hope you guys like it.
Thanks, everyone.